what do you get when you cross Lightning McQueen, some British agent spy car things, explosions, a crap ton of weapons, and some epic economics? You guessed it. Materhosen. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me get the right slide here. Here we go. Cars 2. Let's get this presentation rolling. Ka-chow! Anyways, so as far as supply and demand shifts in Cars 2, I think the first place we need to start is simply the fact that they're cars and not people, and how that affects the demand for fuel. Because as cars, they use fuel anytime they move, or presumably even if they're awake, they're gonna be using a lot of fuel, so that's gonna really up the demand for fuel. So in this situation, we can look at the standard supply and demand for fuel in our world as the normal curve, and as we change to their world, the demand shifter here is going to be the number of consumers, and as the demand is shifted up, that's going to cause a big increase in the price of fuel. But now to the actual content of the movie. As the story progresses, this guy, Sir Miles Axelrod, introduces a new product called All in All. And it's a gasoline alternative. So what does this do to the demand for gasoline? Well, it's not looking too good. The shifter here, I would say, is tastes and preferences. It could be argued that it's the price of the substitute, but I have no solid proof that it actually is cheaper, although Axelrod does imply that it is in his promotion of the product, but again, I would say it's preferences as cars try to go clean energy and such. As we look at the graph, the introduction of this substitute product is going to really reduce the demand for gasoline, as people go to the alternative instead, so that will actually bring down the price of gasoline. But let's look at the effect on fuel in general when we have both gasoline and All in All together. We start out with the normal curve of just gasoline, but when we add All in All, which would be a supply shifter of new technology, that's going to increase the overall supply of fuel in general, whether that's gasoline or All in All. And that supply shift is going to reduce the price of fuel. Yay for all those poor gas guzzlers. But finally, let's look at what happens at the end of the movie when All in All is exposed for being used to kill cars in a plot to get everyone to turn away from the alternative fuel and go back to gasoline. If we look at it from that plan, basically what's going on is that with catastrophic failure among cars using All in All without any explanation, cars would be distrustful of any alternative fuel and would revert back to using gasoline because it was seen as safer. I would call this a demand shifter of expectation, as people's expectations for the future of alternative fuels sunk. So this shift would bring demand for gasoline back up to about where it was at the beginning of the movie, and maybe even higher, bringing the price of gasoline back up. Now naturally, this plot was thwarted, however many of its effects must still have affected the car's economy. And so with that, I'll leave you with a few citations.